Guys. Welcome. My name is Kasey, for those of y'all who don't know me. Why don't you come sit on the ground over here? Hey, Ivana. Francis.
Hi.
Hey. Jenny. Hello.
Hey, hi.
Got Krista, two Kristas. Christy H. Teresa, Julie, Amor. Randy.
You can be to the side if you want.
Christina. Here, his name is Michael. We're going to get started in a few minutes. But for those of you who are just settling in, we're going to need 2 pieces of paper and a pen. While we wait for people to log on, I'm going to burn some Palo Santo and clear the space. But I'm right here, so if you have any questions, feel free to you can talk to me or you can type it in the chat box. Hey Megan, baby Luna. Miriam's here. Amanda. I'm so excited. Thank you all for being here. Carrie, welcome. Hey Brittany. Hey, oh, I see you now, Francis. Yay. Glad you're here more.
I finally figured out the camera.
Yay. I know so many of us learned Zoom overnight. Hey, Sarah. Welcome, Jennifer. If you're just hopping on, you're going to need 2 pieces of paper and a pen.
There are 23 participants.
Hey, Jennifer Bedlinsky. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you. So good to see you.
So glad you're here. Hey, Miriam.
Hello. Good to see you.
You. Thank you for being here. Oh, that's funny, Skylar. Amanda, I was wondering if that was you. Skylar's her 5-year-old. All right. We might have a few more people hop on, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hey, Heather.
Hi.
So glad you're here. Right. Mackenzie. Oh, it's so nice to be here with you. My Meemaw is here. Well, it's actually Mike's Meemaw, but it's all the same. Right. Some of you just hopped on. We're gonna need 2 pieces of paper and a pen. We'll go ahead and get started. And so we'll start with just a little bit of meditation to help drop ourselves in. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys so that you won't hear a whole lot of background noise. But if you have questions, at the bottom of your screen, there's a button and it says chat. If you click on that, it opens the chat box and you can type questions to me. All right. We'll go ahead and get started seated. And we'll begin with a little bit of meditation. Make yourself comfortable, sitting up tall. Bring your hands together, rub the palms. Create some warmth in your hands. Place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. If it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes. And begin to breathe a little slower and a little deeper. Inhale slowly down to your belly. And then a slow exhale. Do that a few more times. Inhaling down towards the belly. And slow exhale. As you intentionally slow your breath down, you might start to feel your thoughts and your internal energy beginning to slow down with the breath. Let's take 3 more breaths. When you feel ready, you can start to open your eyes and relax your hands into your lap. Awesome. All right. Welcome. We've arrived virtually, physically, and now energetically. My name is Kasey. If you don't already know me, I teach yoga and practice energy healing in Fort Worth. Tonight we're celebrating the full moon, and we'll begin by discussing the energy of this particular moon, and then we'll do some fear releasing, we'll create intentions, and then we'll do a meditation that will help strengthen or solidify our intention. So we'll go ahead and get started. This full moon is the pink moon, And it's also a super moon. And so a super moon is when the moon is closer to the earth and it appears larger. If you have time tonight or tomorrow morning or both, I encourage you to get outside. I see a lot of you guys are already outside, and look at the moon and look at its size. It's supposed to be 14% larger. It's a pink moon, and so it may or may not be actually pink, depending on where we're at. I don't know if we're far enough north, but the reason it's called a pink moon is not just for the color, but it more represents the flowers that are blooming in North America during this time. That's according to the Farmer's Almanac. Energetically, this full moon and this season as a whole really is about a cycle and transformation, a death and rebirth. And so we're going to really work with this idea of ending a cycle, releasing, or that death part of the cycle, and then we're going to step into the rebirth. And with our ceremony tonight, the fear releasing will be the death part, what we're going to be letting go of, what we don't need to take in with us into the next cycle. And then our intentions are going to be the things that we want to illuminate and we want to grow during this time. So find your piece of paper. You'll need 2 pieces of paper, one pen. And you'll start with 1 piece of paper, and this is where we're going to write down our fears. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. As I'm talking, feel free to start writing, especially if you have ideas that come to you, or if you already know some of the things you want to release, feel free to just go ahead and write through stream of consciousness. And I'll spend a few minutes talking about releasing the fears, and as you're writing, I'll trust that you're going to hear the stuff that you need to hear or you're supposed to hear. And so we're going to be releasing our fears, and I'm going to really encourage you either tonight or tomorrow morning to burn this piece of paper. And so we're going to be releasing our fears into the light. And this time we're like in a bridge, and we're crossing from one phase to the next, and we get to decide what we carry with us. This is a good time to reflect on our shadow, our lower vibrations. Fear is one of the lower shadow emotions. And so we can think about anything that that's bubbling up right now. And we'll bring light to it. Can bring compassion to it. See it for what it is. And acknowledge why we don't need it for the next phase. I know for me, sometimes just writing down my fears on paper can make me feel a lot better. It's that act of getting it out, letting it process from you and then onto something else physical. If you want to write down anything else you want to release, it doesn't necessarily have to be a fear. It could be any other shadow energies coming up that you want to bring light to. Could be anything that you acknowledge isn't serving you anymore. It may have served you in the past, taught you wonderful things. So many parts of ourselves have cycles. We get to decide what we don't want to carry and what we don't need to carry into the next one. These are really powerful moments honoring these transitions. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to write. Writing down the fears and writing down anything that you're wanting to release. This could be old beliefs, old ideals, old beliefs that served you at one point, but through growth and change, you acknowledge that you don't need them anymore. Right. Then we're going to go ahead and burn them. If you are able to burn them right now, you can. And if you're not, if you don't have source of fire or a way to safely do this, then you can do it after the video. So don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and burn mine. And if you're still writing too, you can keep writing and continue after the video and burn them when it feels complete. But I'm going to go ahead and burn mine. So we have that energy of sending the fear, this old stuff, and even old things that served us at one point. We're going to be sending it into the light and bringing the light to that shadow and allowing it to integrate into the rest of our whole being. Right. And so as you do this, when you do it, imagine all that energy being released into the light. Thank it, send it gratitude for all it's taught you. And then once it's burned, the flame and the embers go out, I'm going to encourage you to dump the ashes into the earth, so into the ground or the dirt somewhere, or a potted plant, and then pour some water on top of it. And so we send it into the light, the fire burns it, and then we allow the ashes to return back to the earth so it can integrate back into our whole. Awesome. All right. The next part of our ceremony is going to be our intention setting. And that's what your second piece of paper is for. And same thing, as I talk to you about your intention setting, feel free to begin writing whenever you're ready. If you have ideas that come to you, if you already know what you want to write down, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about intention setting. And as you're writing, you'll hear the stuff that you need to hear. And so as we think of intention setting, burning the fear and releasing that part and burning the shadows and the older stuff that doesn't serve us anymore, releasing that is creating a space. And in that space, we can call in our intention. We can empower ourselves that we can be intentional with our energy and with our lives and welcome that co-creation. And so into this space, as you think about your intention, I want to encourage you to think about what's going to make you feel good. Right now, we're collectively going through a really hard time. And one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves is make ourselves feel good. So what are the What are the healthy things, the non-destructive things that can make you feel good, bring you comfort? These can be little things, they can be big things, can be routine things, or it could be like just ideas or energy, types of energy you want to carry. Think about what is going to help you be your best self right now. Think about what do you need. Sometimes I think what do you need can be one of the really hard questions. During challenging times, we can slide into patterns that maybe aren't helping us. And so that's where that hard question comes in, and what do we need? And finding the strength to do that. Think about what does your household need of you if you're quarantined with other people in your home? How can you and your family unit, your home unit, work together in harmony? What can you do for yourself that will allow you to support them better? What can you think about what can they do for you that you can communicate with them so that they can support you? And then anything else that you need. Whatever you need for your next step of growth, whatever's in your heart asking to emerge. What are the parts of yourself that you want to nurture and grow? So for this piece of paper, I'm going to encourage you to leave it out in the moonlight. And that may look different for each of you. If you have space outside, you might be able to set it outside, or you might need to place it in a window. And if you're not able to get it in the moonlight, then just welcome the intention of the energy of the moon to be channeled towards your paper and towards the energy and the intention attached to the paper. And so you have your fears. If you haven't burned them already, I'll encourage you to burn them tonight. Be safe. If you can't burn them, you can shred it up. But I think there's something really powerful in seeing the fear being burned into the light and then releasing the ashes into the earth. You're going to place your intention under the moonlight if you can. If you have any crystals that you want to place with your paper, or any herbs or anything else that connects to you, welcome that. You can create a sweet little altar. Carla says, what goes on the second piece? Your second piece is, she was trying to control the fire. I'm glad you're being safe. The second piece is your intention. So you'll want to write your intention for this full moon. And then you're going to put that second piece of paper under the moonlight. And so with this in mind, our next portion is going to be guided meditation. And we're going to use this guided meditation to create more clarity on our intention and channel more energy to help solidify the intention. And so whenever you're ready, make yourself into a comfortable place for the meditation. It'll be about 15 or 20 minutes long. And so you can sit down, you can lie down. It doesn't matter, just whatever is comfy and as long as you can hear me. All right. What crystals do I suggest? That's a good question. I would say any crystals that connect to your personal intention would be good ones. Or you could also incorporate crystals for death and rebirth, so a dark stone and a light stone. Any other questions before we begin our meditation? All right, we'll go ahead and drop into our meditation. And so getting comfortable, and as you're ready, you can soften your eyes closed. When you settle in there, bring awareness to your breathing. Inhaling slowly and exhaling slowly. Inhaling slowly and exhaling slowly. As you slow down your breath, see if you can start to feel your mind and your internal energy slow down. And now we're going to imagine that there is a thought bubble and a little cloud above your head, like in the cartoons. Thought bubble, little cloud thought bubble above your head. In this thought bubble, envision your intention for yourself for this full moon. As you visualize your intention, visualize it as if it's already happened. It already is. You're in the future. You're there fully embodied in the intention. As you connect to this envision, notice where you're at. Look around your environment. Start to color the picture in a little more, acknowledging details. Noticing if there are other people around you, if there's nature around you, buildings or not. Notice the sounds in your environment. Maybe sounds of nature, maybe sounds of your voice or people around you. allowing yourself to hear and absorb the environment that you're in. Notice anything you can touch, looking around your surroundings, reaching out for what you can reach, maybe squatting down and touching the earth, feeling the textures. Bring awareness to your heart and your gut. And notice how you feel. And as you're fully embodying your intention as it's actualized, what does that feel like in your heart? What does it feel like in your belly? Connecting to this experience that you have in your thought bubble, colorful vision in this thought cloud above your head. Start to imagine you're going to pull this thought bubble in through your crown, and it moves right into the space in the center of your head, in the center of your brain. Imagine pulling that thought cloud, pulling that whole vision into your mind's eye. Color in the vision a little more. Noticing more details, more of the life energy. And then take this thought bubble and imagine it moving down to your throat chakra, right into the throat space. Give your vision voice. Seeing this vision align with your truth, with your authentic self, aligning with your higher self, bringing confidence and creation, empowering the vision. We'll pull the energy, the intention down into the heart space. As soon as it moves into your heart, it expands wider than your arms reach, 360 degrees. Boom. Takes up so much more space, bringing spaciousness to the intention. Take a moment and breathe and feel the space expand in the heart. Softening and letting the energy of the heart expand all 360 degrees, all around you, all within you. Pouring divine love into the intention. Pouring healing into the intention. pouring green light into the intention. Visualize and feel the intention move down to your belly, your solar plexus, right into your gut where your gut instinct lives. Give your intention power. Feeding the intention fire and passion. Connecting to your drive to take action and make this intention happen. To bring it from the mind into physical reality. Welcoming the confidence, the will, and the drive, and the knowing that you can and you will make the intention happen, and you can do it with ease. And then we'll allow the intention to move down towards the low belly, the hips, into the sacral chakra. Moving into the water element, welcoming the ability to go with the flow, to be flexible, to move with the current, welcoming creative solutions when you need them, knowing that you'll be able to move with the current and navigate the challenges that come up with ease. Empowering the intention with more creation energy. Preparing to birth the intention into the physical plane. Moving the energy from the mind, from the spirit and universal energy, and allowing it to transform into the physical plane on earth. Shift your awareness down towards your root chakra, the pelvic floor, down through your legs, your feet. Imagine this energy traveling down your root, down your legs, down your feet, and moving into the earth like roots sprouting into the earth beneath you. Visualize those roots growing beneath you, growing deep, 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 deep into the earth. Growing wide, taking up more space underground. Visualize the roots growing thicker, more dense, stronger, creating this unshakable foundation. And imagine your intention, that thought bubble being poured down the roots, being poured into the earth. Allow it all to melt into the earth, the vision, the senses, the feeling of the intention, letting it all melt down. And as you allow that energy to move into the earth, you're affirming that this is your intention for this moon cycle. This is what you're calling in. Continuing to feel it anchor down. And as it anchors down, one more time with the eyes closed, if you can, visualize the intention as if it's already happened. It already is. No need to grasp for it because it's already here. Take a deep breath. When you're ready, if you have the eyes closed, take your time. And in your own time, bring yourself back to the space that you're in. If you want to journal anything that came up, now's a good time while it's fresh. Might even just allow yourself to sit for a moment and feel, connect to your energy, connecting to the energy you created through your work and the meditation. If you have questions, type them into the chat box and I'll answer them. Remembering, you're welcome, Jennifer. So glad you're here. There's power in doing this together, you guys. So I'm really happy to be able to do this with you all. We're alone together. And so even though we're not in the same space, we are absolutely connecting and creating this larger field that's resonating at a frequency together. And then when we take this energy and we honor this transition that we're in as a whole, it can bring so much power to our intention, that our own personal intentions that we're working with. As we do this, we're going to raise the vibration of ourselves, which will help raise the vibration of the world. So needed right now. You're welcome, you guys. I'm so grateful for you. Really happy to be here. Really just honored that you're here together. I want to thank you for your energy. Good. Right. So many of you I know And then there's a lot of you here that I don't think I've met, which is super cool. I'm really happy about that. And I want to give you all my email. Let's see, how do I do that? Type to everyone. I teach weekly yoga classes and healing workshops, and I offer healing sessions. Right now it's all online. We transitioned to online overnight, and it was pretty awesome. So that's my email if you don't have my contact information and you want it. Something else I wanted to share with you all is on Saturday, I'm teaching a workshop called Methods of Self-Healing. And if you're looking for some tools to navigate your inner experience, I know so many of us right now are turning to our inner practices and healing practices. Many people are beginning inner practices, and many people are starting up or diving in a little more deeper in their inner practices. So if that's happening for you and you want a little support and you want like something that's going to help give you tools to navigate your inner work, check out my workshop. I put it in the chat. It's called Methods of Self-Healing, and it's on Saturday from 2 to 4. The recording will be available after if you can't make it, or if you just want to watch it again. And there's a sliding scale price. The ticket price is $30. If you're affected financially, we are opening a $20 price. And then if you want to sponsor someone, you could sign up for the $40 price. So there's a sliding scale just depending on where you're at. And if you know anybody who would benefit from that work, I would be so honored if you would share it. The link's in the chat box. I want to tell you all thank you for just being here. Thank you all who typed messages to me and your kind words. Yesenia, I see your question, and I'm going to message you after I log off to spend more time answering your question. I'll message you on Instagram. Let's see. All right, everybody. Remember, burn your fears, release it into the light, let the ashes integrate back into the earth, pour water over the ashes, and then charge your intention under the full moon. So happy to be here with you tonight. I love you all. Peace to all, love to all, light to all. Namaste. Bye, friends.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kasey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kasey. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Safe. Been thinking about you.
Aww.
All right, friends. I'll log off. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.